All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be doing one of the most important presentations that I've ever done in Toastmasters history. In my 30 years of Toastmastering, this presentation is key and important. And therefore, it is much, much more important to the members of Leadership Speak because it is geared to our membership. And why is it geared to our membership? But yet, it is the topmost, one of the most important presentations because everything that I've learned in 30 years has been distilled into Leadership Speak. And that is the reason why I created and founded Leadership Speak with my co-founder, Brand Pattison, back in February of 2022 during the pandemic. From launch to charter was just 1 week, as you all know. If you don't know, now you know. It just took 1 week because this is how I and Brent work. This is how I work. I don't take years and years to create a club. If I want to do something, it just happens. Now, what is this information that I've distilled over the years that is in Leadership Speak? And what do I want to really talk about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. I'll just move myself here a little bit. There we go. And all right, let's have my technology right. So when we created Leadership Speak, the mandated statement, the vision statement of why we wanted to create Leadership Speak was simply this. It's right here, and you all know it. It is mandated. Everyone who joins this club has to be aligned to this because this is why we exist. If you want to join the club, this is it. If you don't agree with this, then of course you can't be in the club because you're not agreeing with the fundamentals of why we exist in the first place. Would you all agree, ladies and gentlemen, who is present here, that you're all aligned to this statement over here? All right? Yay, nay, let me hear.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yes,
Perfect. Yeah, of course, I know. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, but what does it mean anyway? So let's explain what it means for those who are newer members or members who have forgotten what this statement means. First of all, the name itself is Leadership Speak, which I will explain in the next slide. Okay, but it is the premier club. So the key word here is premier. It's not just any club. It is a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. This is an advanced club. So it's a specialized club. Now remember, the word is specialized. Advanced clubs are specialized. They focus on some key elements. Our key element is leadership development, leadership training, and the key underlying foundational is to be better self-directed leader. What does a self-directed leader mean is very, very important. So a self-directed leader is one who can plan and strategize the journey in Leadership Speak. It doesn't matter what you've done in your community clubs. It doesn't matter what you've done in other Toastmasters club. It doesn't matter how long you've been a Toastmaster. It doesn't matter what sort of roles you've assumed in other clubs. It doesn't matter how you conducted your roles in other clubs, whether you've done it the way you wanted to do it or the way the club wanted you to do it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter to us here. We have a club culture of self-directed leaders. It is based on leadership development, and it's a premier club for experienced Toastmasters. That means it's an advanced club, and you already have to have the basics, at least level 3 of a pathway. One pathway, at least minimum, to be a member of this club. Because we don't teach you how to become a grammarian or counter or quiz master. We don't even have those roles, counter and quiz master. We don't teach you how to be a timer. So our timer role is just tiny one line. The timer comes and says, this is what they're doing, period. But we need a timer. We need a grammarian because we want to make sure that at least grammar is used well, but it is in a certain way and certain manner. It's our club culture to do things in a certain way because we want to make sure this statement stays alive. This is our mandate. If this statement becomes dead and everyone is doing what they wanted to do, they could be in a community club. Why join the top club globally, right? So the reason why you're joining this club is not because it is the top club globally. The first and foremost reason anyone should join this club is because of the training, because of the focus on leadership. That is key. Leadership development. Leadership Speak means something, and I'll explain that in a moment. So it's the key word is leadership. And the second key word is self-directed leader. Ability to plan, prepare, and strategize your roles for the next 3 months and tell your VP of education, these are the roles I want to do, these are the speeches I want to do. Or if you don't, then mark yourself absent on Easy Speak. If you don't mark yourself on Easy Speak as absent and you haven't told us the plan, we will put you on the agenda, right? Why? We want engaged members. We don't want members to join this club to learn leadership skills and just sit on the sidelines and watch and just appear once in a while. We need consistency. It is part of leadership training. That's why we are here. We don't want you to be a member for like 10, 5, 15, 20 years. Just be a member for 1 year, learn the skills, and then go and teach your club what you learned and expand your local club. And then you can quit if you wish. There's members here who will never quit, however, because they're having such a good time. But if that's what you want to do, the main thing is to understand the club culture, the roles, why we do the roles the way we do the roles, and the way it's structured, the roles and the cultures is to exemplify being a leader and being self-directed, and it's all leadership development. Key, again, the word is, ladies and gentlemen, what's the key word here?
Leadership.
Exactly, leadership. Okay, so next slide, ladies and gentlemen, is simply, oh, and let's not forget, we also have 3 values: to learn, to innovate, and to connect. Learn, of course, is that you have to come with a learning mindset, a growth mindset, right? So when you get feedback, or when a trainer contacts you and says, here's the role and this is how we do it, don't argue. This is our club culture. And therefore, you have to come with a learning mindset and open your mind. If you do things very differently, the grammarian role, the timer role, the toast, the thought of the day, the toastmaster of the day, the education speaker, we do that very differently. And come with a growth mindset and listen to the mentor, your trainer, as to what they need you to train. If a trainer contacts you, please reply back immediately because you're on the agenda. If you're on the agenda because you didn't mark yourself off Easy Speak as you're not coming or you don't want a role, so you put an X in. If you forget to do that, you'll be given a role. If you're given a role, you will know it 3-4 weeks in advance. If you don't want the role, please go mark yourself, I'm not coming 3-4 weeks before, so that we can replace you, but not in the last week, 1 week before. You will have to replace yourself then because you are self-directed. And how can you replace yourself? Well, the word is connect. You know all the members, right? Right? Do you know all the members?
Right.
Great.
Who
Almost.
knows?
Yes.
How
Excellent
many of you know all the members?
Excellent question.
Not all.
I connect,
but
not everybody, but most of them, yes, I've connected.
yes,
Most of them.
same here.
All right, let me ask you a question for those of you who think they've connected or know members. All right. Where is Sonia from? Sonia, don't say anything.
Greece.
Sonia is not from Greece.
Oh, funny.
She recently moved to
France.
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 Where did she
France.
move? Where did she move from to France?
Toronto.
Canada.
Canada, Toronto. She left here, went there, and said, I want to become a member over here. That is what I mean by connection, is to not to just say, oh, hello, hi, how are you? No, that's not connection. When you know members, I know each and every member, what time zone they are in, what flag they are under, their story. I know it. Well, sorry, I cheat because I brought them in, right? But okay, so discount me. Okay, discount me. I won't boast about myself. But the rest of you, those who really want to be in the legacy leaders group, need to connect with each and every member and get to know connect. Not just, hey, hi, how are you? Hey, happy birthday. Hey, well done, you won the best evaluator, best speaker. That's not connection. That's just like blowing your hot air. I don't care about that. Do you know what I mean, right? Do you know exactly what I mean? What connection truly means? I talked about it so much yesterday in yesterday's presentation. Do you guys agree? Were you there?
Yes, we
Hmm?
agree.
And innovate. Innovate means what? We use technology to the hilt. This is what I'm doing right now, right? I'm using technology and making a presentation across how many countries are present right now? Goodness, about almost 7 or 8, 9 countries right now are present on the screen here. And innovation is how I think, outside the box. Think outside. People think that Toastmasters only allows you to do this little thing here. No, Toastmasters doesn't say what you should be doing. As far as you follow the 4 key values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence, and the club mission is present, you can do anything you want, as well as, of course, make sure that you're following the pathways, objectives, or purpose, right? As far as you do that, then you can do anything. Like yesterday was an HPL project. Who said that I couldn't do that? When I was doing the DTM project for 1,000 people, there were people in my district that said, this can't be a DTM project, and said, challenge me. So people assume there are things that you can do. No, you can do anything you want. You can go as big as you want, and as wide as you want, and as deep as you want in Toastmasters. And here, therefore, innovation means exactly that. But you need to be on top of technology. If you are not on top of technology, sorry, this club may not be for you, because we are totally based on technology. WhatsApp, Google Forms, Zoom mastering. Everyone should be a Zoom master. I mean, master, not just knowing Zoom. Zoom master, like mastering Zoom and knowing exactly what Zoom is. That's innovation. So, having said, it's leadership development, technology, growth mindset, and knowing the members well. These are our values. This is who we are. Any questions? All right, great. So let's go on to the next slide. Here we are, and we are in 34 different countries right now. Today is September the 30th, 2025. Tomorrow, October the 1st, this background will change. Some countries will drop off, right? And some countries will be added. We will be less than 34 countries as far as my count goes correct. I don't know how many yet, for sure, because some people still sitting on the fence. All right. However, let's take this background out for a second and look at a few things about what does this all translate to. Leadership speak, this particular statement over here, and the values here. That is fundamental to the construct of the club. And it's a specialized club. Remember, specialized club. It's not a community club. It's focused on being a leader. And therefore, the name Leadership Speak. What does it mean? Because of the mandate and the values, the name is very, very important. It doesn't say Leadership Speaks. There's no S at the end here. It's not Leadership Speaks, right? It's Leadership Speak. It means speak as the leader, be heard as the leader, speak up with confidence, speak to others as the leader, and all leaders need to connect with other members. Leaders need to know who's on the team. And if you're a team member in a community, a member of a community, and you're not on the executive, you're not on any committee, you're still a leader. You're a leader without a title. Every member in this club is a leader without a title, and they have to speak to others as if they are leaders, and I'm a leader. That's why you don't see any conflicts in the club. Yeah, I'm totally transparent. I don't have side conversations. Any conversation that I have it in a group. Whenever there's a group conversation, people send me a side conversation. I say, I'm not having this conversation here. Put it in the group and we'll talk there. And you have experienced all that. Some of you have done that, right? Given me a side conversation. Even if it's just an innocent remark, I say, put it in the group. You know that. And I do that all the time. So leadership speak is about speaking with conviction, confidence, credibility, and how that comes about is through critical thinking. Critical thinking is very important to our club because this is an advanced club. You need to think critically as a leader. Leaders need to think critically, not hypothetically, or I believe in this, I believe in that, I can just do anything that I want. Be in a community club if you wish to. But here we need to think critically why we exist as a leadership speak club. I'm a leader. I'm expected to act as a leader, and I'm expected to plan, prepare, and present. And I need to have a strategic plan. If not, then the VP of Education, the VP of Education Committee will help you plan by putting you on the agenda. So if you don't want to be on the agenda, mark an X on easy speak, right? This part of being a leader is I'm coming, I'm not coming, is part of being a teamwork. So now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, how does leadership speak translate into our club culture and shows up in our meetings? How does it do that? If this is all I've said, obviously it has to translate into our interactions with each other, especially on a Saturday in a Saturday meeting. Would you agree? Anybody? Yeah, it has to translate somewhere. Yeah, no, I need sound. Don't switch off your microphone. Speak. Put on all your microphones, please, ladies and gentlemen, and just speak to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Up on Saturdays? Yeah, agreed?
Yes.
It has
Yes,
to.
Saturday.
It is not, we are not blowing hot air. When me and Brent created this club, we were not just blowing hot air for the sake of, smoking our cigars, right? Son? No, it was not for that or having a glass of brandy. It was for, this is why we exist. And we have past regional advisors join our club, past district directors, current district directors, area directors, division directors, presidents of other clubs. They are in this club. And as well as those who've just done level 3 and have no designation at all anywhere. When they come here, they get a designation. You are a leader. Boom. You are everybody's leader here. And so start speaking like a leader. That's why you are here. Now, how does it translate into our meetings? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the roles in a meeting exemplify everything that I've said about the mandate, the values, and the name itself. And what is that? Well, key, boom. There we go. Number one is you have to be a team player and know the community well, which is, of course, in our right here, connect, innovate, and learn. I explained that to you already, right? You need to know everyone here. You need to be connected to everyone. That's why when new members join, I say, please connect with them directly. When somebody has a birthday, please go connect with them directly and wish them happy birthday. And not just, hey, happy birthday, but make sure that you understand them, know them, and so on. Right? Team player, community is very, very important. Secondly, the role of the Toastmaster of the day. Now, what does that mean, Toastmaster of the day? If leadership speak and Premier Club has to sort of translate into the meeting with learn, innovate, and connection, it means the Toastmaster of the day creates the theme. The theme is around leadership principles, pure and simple. It has to be around leadership principles. It may have some elements of communication in there if we wish, not a problem. And once in a while, we have fun meetings like we had last week about Men in Black, right? But we had leadership embedded in there. It was not just any funny meeting. And we don't have themes like, oh, it's a sunshiny day, spring day, it's a winter day. No, it means nothing to us. It's purely leadership development based themes. Right? That's what the Toastmaster of the day does together with the education speaker. The education speaker and the Toastmaster of the day collaborate, which is from the word community. Community does what? They collaborate together and play together. They understand each other. So the team of the day and the education committee, education speaker get together to create the theme, and the education speaker will speak 20 minutes on the theme. And it's not a personal story for 15 minutes and there's one or two things about the theme. No, it starts with the theme. Why we are here. This is the theme. This is what I'm going to speak about. If you want to do a personal story, throw it in somewhere in there that is relevant to the theme. And then it ends with the theme. That's the education speaker. I'm running ahead of time, but education speaker will come second. But team out of the day is in charge of the meeting. That totally and completely in charge of the meeting. Sure, the VP of Education, the VP of, and their committee will train people. They will put them on the agenda for you. But however, after the agenda is done for you, for the team mode, you want to make sure that all these people have signed into EasySpeak, they have accepted the role. Right? It's the team mode's duty, that they have put in their speech titles, that the evaluators have signed in, that the speaker and the evaluator have connected. It is the team mode's role, because they are running the meeting. It's their meeting. It's not the VP of Education's meeting. It's not the president's meeting. It's not my meeting. It's the Toastmaster of the day's meeting. When I run the meeting, you see, it happens, right? October the 11th is all done, complete. Everyone knows what the training is all about. They've got all the material. They know the theme, and they're all getting ready, right? I did that. But to walk the talk, because I'm the founder of the club. And so that is the expectation, right? That the team of the day is totally in charge of the meeting. And so you're learning how to speak like a leader, lead meetings like a leader, to collaborate and create a community. And that meeting is yours. You start the meeting and end the meeting, it's yours. What happens during the meeting, it's yours. How many guests sign in, it's yours. What happens during the meeting, it's yours in the end. You are totally accountable and responsible for it. That doesn't mean we are going to blame you or you can't make mistakes. Accountable and responsibility doesn't mean that accountability and responsibility means doing the pre-work and asking for support, and make sure that if you don't know something, that you ask and get the relevant support that you need. And if you make mistakes, we'll point that out to you. We don't want to blame you. Whatever you want, it's a learning curve for sure. Even if you've been a Toastmaster for 20 years, when you come here, it is very different. Expectations are different. You are learning to be a leader and to speak and stand up as a leader. First time you do the team out of the role here, you may have been a Toastmaster for 20 years, but you might fumble and stumble a little bit. Not a problem. If you come for the training and you know why we are here, with the name, the mandate and the values, and you know why we are here, then we don't mind if you stumble, of course, and if you're going through the training, right? Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's only one yes. All right, good. Thanks for the
I said yes
engagement there.
before.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. I already talked about the education speaker. The education speaker role has to connect with the team mode. It's all about collaboration. You're learning how to collaborate, and you're learning how to think critically when you put together your content. Why are we here with this particular theme in this particular meeting? And there's like 50, 60 people in our meetings normally. There's so many guests that come in. They say, I love this theme. I want to come and listen. And you know, the theme doesn't last for like two minutes. Like, oh, it's a summer day, then it's sunny, and we wear jackets, so we're relaxing. No, people are learning about the theme, the leadership principle that we are talking about. And so it's not a personal story, you know, like for 15, 20 minutes. We are talking actually about the leadership principles, and you might throw in one or two personal stories in there. Okay? So that's the leadership education speaker. Every meeting, 20 minutes. Every member gets a chance. We don't give the team mode role or the education speaker immediately to any new member. We wait at least 2-3 months minimum before they feel comfortable. They've watched enough and they know how the meeting is run. They are consistently being in the meetings. They know what's going on. Then we start them with this role. Fair?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, then somebody is going to raise the toast. The Toastmaster of the day will open the meeting with the theme, and they get about 3 minutes to explain the theme. Only 3 minutes. The rest will be done by the education speaker for 20 minutes. And then the toast is raised by the person raising the toast. It's called raising the toast. Now, how does one raise the toast? Again, it's not a personal story. And the past 2 weeks, we've heard personal stories. And at the end, just one line about the toast. No. Again, the toast is to do with the theme. They begin with, today we are gathered here, and they mention what the theme is. And they mention some principles or something very important about the theme. They may have one liner, maybe a couple of liners about a story or that experience around it, but not a story. It doesn't have to go for 2 whole minutes, because you only have 3.5 minutes for the toast. Okay? Now I think it's a jump to 3 to 4 minutes, I believe. So that's the toast, and it has to do with the theme of the meeting. And a trainer will get in touch with you, and you better get in touch with the trainer 3 weeks in advance or 2 weeks in advance and watch the video, get together with your trainer, and make sure they understand what you're doing so they can support you through it, rather than say, oh, I know how to do a toast, I've done it so many times. No, you don't know what we do at Leadership Speak until you've been trained and you know it well, and so on. That is the toast, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions from anyone about how we and why we do the toast? Thank you, Nicole. Got it. 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Again, the thought of the day. 2 minutes only. It's not in any pathway, by the way. It's just off the pathway. People say, oh, somewhere in the pathway is social speech. No, it's not. Nowhere in the social speech. If you insist and you want to mark off a social speech, it's up to you. We don't police people. It's up to you, really. But it really isn't any social speech. It's not any speech. A thought of the day is, again, about the theme. So you'll talk a couple of principles about the theme, which means you really need to collaborate with the team mode and the education speaker. You really need to know the content that the team mode and the education have gotten together to write, which is what I forgot to do as well. The Toastmaster of the day writes a content based on the theme of 150 words. They are responsible for it. And the thought of the day person presenter needs to know what's in that content. They may as well collaborate with the team mode and the education speaker and say, what are you guys speaking about? And what sort of things can I bring into my thought of the day at the end? In those 2 minutes, you may, as a thought of the day, pick up 1 or 2 things only. It's not about who this speaker said this and this speaker said that, and 20 more. That's an evaluation or just a summary of the meeting. We don't need a summary of the meeting. We want you to tell us at the end and to finish off the meeting as a final closing thought on the theme. So it's best to collaborate with the team mode and the education speaker. Remember, it's the community. It's all about collaboration. Yes, and you have to spend time learning that. That's why I say immerse yourself in Leadership Speak for just 1 year. And then, if you want to leave, by all means. Any questions about thought of the day? Is that very clear? Nicole, especially because my VP of Education is here. She's watching me and she's like saying, hey, what's this guy saying? All right, she's probably on a call right now. So that's the thought of the day. Everything is all about collaboration. Everything is about the theme. Okay. All right.
Yes, just want to add real quick about the thought of the day. What I find is like persons when I was training, because Wahiga just started helping me with that, I would have like a write-up from someone, which is a speech. And I remember once I interacted with a member and which was a great that they were all involved. And I tested myself by timing and doing that particular write-up that they gave me, and it was about 4 minutes. But I said to them, like, okay, so you should really have like a skeleton because then you would have collaborated with the team mod or understand the theme.
Yes.
On the day of the meeting, it's your reflection of the meeting, right? So you are going to put in your thing, your thoughts from the meeting, key thing that you would have picked up from the educational speaker. Oops, my phone is ringing. Educational speaker or the leadership speaker. So sorry, the T-mod. So I find that that's a challenge too. And then of course, I'm glad you hit the nail on the head about it being a social speech. You have that pushback where people believe that it should be considered a social speech. So the time is an issue. People go on just like the toast and they speak for 4 minutes. Why? Because they give a summary of each of the speaker. And in their mind, they're doing a reflection. So they don't care about what you taught them in the training. In their mind, this is the way it's done. I'm giving my reflection and I'm giving my feedback on each speaker. So that's how the time now go lengthy, right? So I feel like it's all the enthusiasm, but not keeping in mind that that's going to push them all the way over and take away from the essence of what the thought is. It all comes down back to the why. Why are you doing a particular thing and the purpose of the thing? So that's what we want people to understand. Why you are doing this and what does it mean?
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely, yes. Thank you for speaking to that. Okay, so next thing.
Yeah, question.
Sure, John.
Right. I think I understand where Nicole is coming from, and I understand what you have also said regarding the thought of the day. However, the thought of the day, is it the thought of the individual's thought of the theme of the meeting, how everything went, and what it meant to him or her, or what Nicole articulated. Do you understand
Nicole,
what I'm asking? I'm asking
Nicole,
a
over to
question.
you.
Right.
Sure, John. It is the thought of the day is a reflection of the meeting, and it's your reflection. However, a part of that reflection, because we can say, yeah, it's a reflection. So, what if I reflect and talk about 2 years ago when I was in France? That's a reflection, right? So, I'm being very careful. So, in the script that we have, which you went away, so now if you should do that role, you would see it clearly. We give some guidelines. You collaborate with the Toastmaster of the day and the leadership speaker so you have an understanding of the theme, almost like in sync with the person who's delivering the toast. It is important. So, yes, I've done 20 social speeches in the last 2 years. I know how to do a toast. And then on the day, we are raising the toast, but we are telling, as Brahm said, we might talk about stories. And you're finding all the protocols of raising a toast. However, the essence is missing because, again, it doesn't tie with the theme. So when you're giving that thought, like that thought on the team, the meeting, it's called a thought of the day. So what's your thought on this meeting and the theme per se, what took place? And in the note we said listen keenly to the leadership speaker and the toastmaster of the day. So just imagine how empowered
Yes.
you would be because you would have known before the meeting the essence of what they'll be talking about. I don't know if that makes it clear. I hope it is.
Exactly. So there you go. John, is the thought of the day person is not giving just any thought or on the speakers. It's based on the theme, as Nicole has quite clearly pointed out. And so who is in charge of the theme and who speaks about the theme? It's only the Toastmaster of the day and the education speaker and the one raising the toast. But the raising the toast is only 3 to 4 minutes. So the thought of the day person may communicate with the team mode and the speaker before and said, what are you guys talking about? And so this is my thoughts on what I will end up with to summarize the meeting. But what every speaker said, they're not, the speakers are allowed to speak about anything that they want to because they're doing their own projects and so on from the pathways. They're not talking about the theme at all. Some of them actually do incorporate some of the theme, but not everyone does, right? So the thought of the day is to do with today's theme, what the Toastmaster of the day and the education speaker, and to summarize that. And you may add on one or two of your own thoughts, or you may have your own thoughts and then add on what Toastmaster of the day and education speaker said. If there was something relevant from the speaker that you caught that was relevant to the theme, by all means, but it's all to do with the theme. So it's all about collaboration. Every one of these roles is all about collaboration. The theme runs through the meeting. That is the reason why our guests keep coming over and over, because they're learning about a certain principle in leadership. This is the foundation of the club. It says here in our mandate, it says in our values, it says in our name. That is the mandate. When we did the launch meeting with 2 international presidents present, I talked about this particular thing, the name, and it's all about leadership development, right? And what it means. That's how we presented. And so we charted within a week because people loved what they heard. This is the basis, right? And it runs through the meeting. Okay?
Well, thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Of course.
And I agree wholeheartedly with the collaboration, the culture, and what has been articulated. And one thing that probably I'm missing now, which probably I will request for, is sharing that script that
Absolutely.
with members, so that again, well, at least so that they know what the culture is, what the script they should follow.
Yes.
Of course, they know they have to again collaborate. So
Correct.
my only request is that, yeah, I would like to have
The script.
the script. I look at the script. I mean, not the script. I mean, look at the script, and of course, collaboration and connectivity is so important. So thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much, John, for adding to this meeting by saying that. It does clarify things for all of us here. Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much. And yes, the trainers are being trained, and we will be having a trainers training as well, because things are falling a little bit behind. So just to catch up, to make sure that what I'm saying here happens with the trainers as well. Now the grammarian role as well, they need to create a word of the day that is consistent with the theme. Now here's the thing, we may like the word and it's totally consistent with the theme, but we'll ask them to defend it. Why? Because we want to know their thought process. We're asking them for critical thinking. That's all. We are not like challenging anyone. We want the critical thinking, and for you to be able to articulate your thoughts. When somebody says, "Why did you choose this word?" Right? They'll say, then if you have thought critically and you're able to articulate your thoughts, right, into words and actions in a meeting, or explain it to us during our training meeting why you chose the word, that means you've thought through and you've thought through critically. That's the only reason why we ask you. Everything is about critical thinking. In fact, when the team mode of the day chooses a theme, we challenge the theme of the day. What does this mean? Why did you choose this? Right? Critical thinking. We're all thinking together. We are helping people develop the thinking skill of what this particular theme means. It's everywhere present. We ask everyone, what's the reason behind this, and so on, right? It's not to sort of, hey, this is bad or good. It's about, let's think through with critical thinking. Explain to us so that you are able to think a little bit more complex things and being able to explain them in a simplicity, because this is what you need in the boardroom. This is what you need in your workplaces. This is what you need in your teams out there in the real world. Most of this is geared towards professionals, of course, because leadership speak and all that. It's not for people who don't participate out in the real world, right? It's meant for people who are participating in the real world and really need to understand leadership skills. We have actually a PhD in business, right here present in this particular meeting, and we learn from her and she learns from us, right, from what we are doing. And she manages a big coffee company. Who's that person? Do you know?
Time
So-
to think about it.
I wonder who's that person.
I wonder.
And because Rosie does find this very useful. She finds this club like a showstopper. That's why she's here. Why would she want to be here? Why would I want to be here, right? And why would John want to be here? It's a showstopper. That's why you want to be here. Okay, so that's the grammarian role. We will ask you to defend it just for critical thinking purposes, not for anything else, not to test you or to think that you're stupid or whatever. Then you don't come with the learning mindset. Remember learning mindset? Yes, key, critical. This was well thought out. We didn't put together something and say, hey, let's create a club. Oh, because we want DTM. No, I don't work that way. Brent Patterson doesn't work that way. He doesn't care. He cares about the value and things that we are providing the world. Timer role, everyone's done a timer role. The very first role you probably did in your community club was, hey, can you be the timer? You've joined, you've been here for 2 weeks, you watched the meeting, can you be the timer? We do these things differently here. In the community club, you are encouraged to think outside the box and bring a quote and explain a bit more about the timing. And then you go through the whole agenda. This speaker will be 5 minutes and 6 minutes and 7 minutes, and the table topics will be this, and the evaluator will be this, and there's another speech for 8 to 10 minutes. You'll explain that. It's all on the agenda. I don't know why we explain that. So in leadership speak, the timer just comes on and says, I'll put on the green, yellow, and red according to the agenda. Thank you. And they're gone. Period. Less than 30 seconds. That's it. And then they are not called upon at all ever again. They just post all their results in the chat. Because we are not teaching the timer's role. You've already learned that and mastered that at the community club. If you haven't mastered it, keep going to your community club and master it there. All right? Simple as that. And it has nothing to do with the theme as well, by the way. So, except that you need to understand, here's the agenda. These are the timings. Don't ask anyone what the timings are. They're right there on the agenda, right? If you want to know beforehand, you can go on Easy Speak, click the button called Agenda. The agenda will open up and you can have a look 2-3 weeks ahead of time. That's the timer's role. Number 8, the general evaluator is very, very important, because the GE is going to listen to the evaluators very carefully They've already listened to the speaker very carefully. Now they're going to listen to the speaker, the evaluator, very carefully. And when the evaluator finishes, they're going to evaluate the evaluator. Just for 1 minute. That's it. Nothing much. Just for 1 minute. That is a GE. That's why it's very, very important, because this is an advanced club. We need the GE to really be good at evaluations. We don't expect the GE when they start, and they come on, they say, wow, what a wonderful meeting. What a wonderful speakers. Don't say that in leadership speak. If you find something wonderful, say, this thing happened and it was exemplary or very well done, and this is the reason why. People just come in and they filler words. Wow, excellent. Wow. Hey, great. Oh, awesome. That we do in the community club, it's enough. Okay. So here it's all about critical thinking, why you're saying what you're saying, and explain what it is that you're saying for. And therefore it comes to the evaluator as well. Evaluator stands up and says, oh, excellent speech. I loved it. I don't want to hear that. You can do that in your community club. Right now we are doing evaluation training. On 11th of October, there's a huge training for evaluators in Leadership Speak on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. And you had better be there if you want to learn advanced evaluations and critical thinking. It's happening on October the 11th. And these people who are there on October the 11th, they've already got the training material. And we will be talking about it over the next few little weeks about that training material. And they will become very good at evaluations, and they will teach the rest of the club how to do evaluations. When we are good at the evaluations, guess what happens? The speaker gets very good as well. To become a great speaker, you need to be a good evaluator. To become a good evaluator, you need to be a great speaker. Interconnected. You can speak about anything you want. You can evaluate, but you have to evaluate in a certain way. It's critical thinking. That's why the training is happening, because we could say, to hell with the training. Why should I spend so much time? But I do, because I created the club and I want to make sure that I'm providing the value that I said I would. Leadership development, that you become a better self-directed leader, is the premier club, right? And you're learning, you're innovating, and you're connecting. And that's why I do this. I'm tied to this while I'm here. It is my duty to serve and support until I'm here. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the club is all about. This is what Leadership Speak is all about. Any questions?
No.
If not,
No.
all right. I will
Understood
switch
and
off the recording and we will move forward.
Thank you very much, Brahm. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
shall listen to the recording again.
All right, great. Thank you.